There are places on this earth where the maps lie. Where islands vanish from the roots, from the gas, from the collective memory of the world. I found some of them. And what I discovered there changed me forever. They say Indonesia has 70,000 islands. But no one talks about the ones that time forgot. The ones that refuse to be remembered. The ones that exist in the shadows between the waves, where the modern world has no jurisdiction and the past still breathes. I went looking for those islands. And I found something I was prepared for. This is the story of what happens when you step off the map. When you leave behind the safety of the known. When you realize that some places aren't hidden because they lost. They are hidden because they chose to be. My name doesn't matter. What matters is the journey. And the truth I brought back from the edges of the world. The forgotten islands straight like scattered bones across the Banda Sea, a chain of more than 1,000 kilometers between Timor and West Papua. Most people have never heard of them. Most maps don't put mark in them. And that's exactly how the people who live there want it. I arrived by boat on a morning thick with salt and silence. The kind of silence that presses against your chest. That makes you aware of your own breathing. The islands rose from the water like ancient sentinels, green and volcanic, crowned with mist that never seemed to lift. There were no docks. No signs. No welcome committees. Just a handful of wooden boats pulled onto black sand beaches and the eyes of villagers watching from the tree line. Watching, but not approaching. As if they'd seen travelers before. And knew what travelers brought with them. Stepped onto the beach and felt the weight of it. The isolation. The separation from everything they know. My phone had lost signal 2 days before. My watch had stopped working. Time, here, moved differently. Or perhaps it didn't move at all. The first village I reached was called La Malera. A fishing community on Lembata Island that has existed for more than 7 centuries. The houses were simple, built from wood and tat, arranged in thick clusters along the rocky coastline. Smoke rose from cooking fires. Children played in the dirt. And everywhere, hanging from bamboo hacks, were the bones of valleys. Because this is what they do here. What they've done for generations. They hunt valleys. Not with modern equipment. Not with hygiene or technology. They hunt the way their ancestors hunted. With wooden boats called peleda. With handmade harpoons called tempuling, iron-tipped spears mounted on furmeter shafts. They row into the open ocean during the season between May and October, scanning the horizon for the spray of a spare whale surfacing. And when they see it, they chase. The lamafa, the harpooner, is always the first to leap. Inherited, father to son, the holy carries the weight of centuries. The lamafa must strike the main artery running down the valley's back. One thrust. Precise. Fatal. A little off the mark, and the whale becomes something else. Not a source of food. But a force of nature, angry and powerful, capable of dragging boats all the way to East Timor. I watched them prepare one morning. The ritual before the hunt. 3 days of prayers and ceremonies. Meetings between elders and boat owners. Offerings to the sea gods. A solemnity that felt older the language itself. An elder named Cornelius looked at me with as the color of old wood. You came to see us kill a whale, he said. Not a question. A statement. I came to understand, he said. He smiled, but there was no warmth in it. Understanding and witnessing are not the same thing. I didn't know what he meant. Not then. If you've ever felt that same silence pressing against you, the kind that makes you question everything you thought you knew, type the word silence below. And if you want to follow me deeper into these forgotten places, consider subscribing. Because what I found next would test everything I believed about tradition, survival, and the cost of being truly isolated. The boats left it down. 7 of them, cutting through water so clear I could see the shapes of fish 30 feet below. I was in the Tettieri, one of the older vessels, with a crew of 8 men who barely spoke. They didn't need to. Every movement was choreographed by years of repetition. Every gesture carried meaning. We roved for hours. The sun clean bed, brutal and indifferent. The sea stretched in every direction, unbroken except for the dark silhouettes of the other boats. And then, the call. Baléu. Baléu. A whale had surfaced. A spare whale, its massive back glistening in the light. The boats turn as one, converging, the havers pulling hard. The lamafa soto that the bow, harpoon raised, his body tense with focus. I watched him leap. A perfect arc through the air. The harpoon struck. The whale convulsed, thrashing, and the ocean exploded. Water and blood and chaos. The boat lurched violently. Men shouted. Hope stigned. And the whale, in its final moments, dove. The hope sang as it pulled by the dying animal below. The crew held on, bracing, waiting. And then, stillness. The whale surfaced a last time, lifeless, and the men began the slow work of hauling it back. It took 6 hours to bring it ashore. The entire village came to meet us. Women, children, elders. They sang as the whale was dragged onto the beach. Not a song of celebration. A song of gratitude. Of respect. Of acknowledgement. Cornelius found me standing apart, watching the butchering begin. Every part of the whale would be used. Meat divided equally among families. Bones turned into tools. Oil rendered for lamps. Nothing wasted. Nothing disrespected. You understand now? He asked. He didn't answer right away. Because he was beginning to. This was a sport. It was a cruelty. It was survival woven into ritual. A covenant between the people and the sea. They took only what they needed. Only adult valleys. Never the young. Never the pregnant. Never the nursing mothers. Rules passed down through generations, not written, but remembered. How long can this last? Yes, Kate. Cornelius looked at the horizon. As long as the old forges will exist. And there it was. The truth he had wanted to face. These islands weren't hidden by accident. They were hidden by design. By choice. By the desperate hope that if they remain invisible, they might remain unchanged. The banda sees the per the most people realize. Not just in measurement, but in presence. It sits at the heart of the Coral Triangle, a region so rich in marine biodiversity that scientists call it the Amazon of the oceans. Volcanic ridges rise from depths of 4,000 meters, creating underwater walls that plunge into darkness. And around those walls, life explodes. I went diving 3 days after the whale hunt. A guide named Yusuf took me to a site called Atta Island, part of the Banda Archipelago. The water was so clear it felt like falling through air. Coral gardens stretched in every direction, alive with color. Schools of barracuda moved in perfect synchronization. A myriad shark glided past, indifferent to my presence. But it was the walls that haunted me. Vertical drops that disappeared into blackness. I floated at the edge, suspended between light and ice, and felt something yet expected. Fear. Not of the creatures below. But of the void itself. The unknown. The reminder that there are places on this planet we will never fully understand. Never fully tame. Yusuf surfaced beside me, grinning. Beautiful, yes? Terrifying Said. Relauged. Same thing. Back on the boat, he told me about the changes. How the reefs used to be even more vibrant. How the fish were larger. How fever tourism altered ecosystems. But now, word was spreading. Live aboards were arriving. Dive operators advertising the banda as Indonesia's best kept secret. But it won't be a secret much longer, he said quietly. And then what? Then it becomes like everywhere else. Crowded. Damaged. Loved to death. He asked him if he wanted people to stop coming. He stared at the water for a long time. He wanted them to come for the right reasons. Not for Instagram. Not for bragging. But because they understand that some places are sacred. And sacred things require care. That night, anchored near a deserted island, he lay on the deck and looked at the stars. There were so many of them. More than he'd ever seen. And he thought about Yusuf's words. About the fragile line between discovery and destruction. About whether documenting these places was an act of preservation or an invitation to whom. He didn't have an answer. He still don't. If this story has gripped you so far, consider subscribing. The journey only gets deeper from here. Because what I found in the next village would force me to confront an even harder truth. When I'm still wrestling with. Tengano is different. Not just isolate, but insulate. A valed village in East Bali, one of the last remaining Baleaga settlements, predating the Majapahit Empire by centuries. The people here are descendants of the original Balinese, untouched by the waves of Hindu influence that transformed the rest of the island. They live by rules older than memory. No one can marry outside the village. No one can on land outside the walls. Buildings must conform to traditional sizes and styles, constructed from red stone and river rock. Every aspect of life is governed by customary law passed down through generations. E arrived on mid afternoon, the arctic with the cell of rain. The village felt like a stage set. Too perfect. Too preserved. Stone pathways lined with identical houses. Bamboo woven into intricate patterns. Women working at looms, creating rings in fabric. A double cat weave so labor intensive it can take years to complete a single piece. But something was wrong. I felt it immediately. Tourists wandered the pathways, cameras raised. A souvenir shop had opened near the entrance, selling mass-produced versions of the traditional crafts. And the villagers, the ones weaving and carving, wore expressions recognized. Not pride. Not joy. Performance. I met a young man named Vio near the central temple. He was carving a wooden mask, his hands moving with practiced ease. I asked if he could watch. He nodded, but didn't look up. You come to see the ancient village, he said after a while. Not a question. Yes. You want to take pictures. Tell your friends. Post on social media. You want to understand, he said. The same words I said in La Malera. But here, they felt hollow. Via stopped carving. Looked at me directly for the first time. His eyes were hard. You want to understand? Then understand this. Every person who comes here, who films US, who writes about US, makes it harder for US to stay who we are. You think you're preserving our culture. But you're turning it into a product. Into entertainment. I opened my mouth to respond. Closed it. Because he was right. We used to live our lives, he continued. Now we perform them. The weaving, the ceremonies, the festivals, they used to be ours. For US. Now they have for cameras. For tourists who spend an hour here and think they see something real. But nothing here is real anymore. You made sure of that. I left Tengana that evening feeling a the felt years. Because Vian's words had cut through every justification I built. Every reason I told myself for documenting these places. For sharing them with the world. I thought I was helping. Raising Varenes. Encouraging preservation. But what if I was doing the opposite? What if every video, every article, every post was another nail in the coffin of authenticity? The question followed me for days. Through villages and across islands. Through conversations with elders and fishermen and artisans. And the answer, when it finally came, was comforting. Some places aren't meant to be shared. Some stories aren't meant to be told. And some travelers carry a responsibility heavier than the weight of their cameras. The responsibility to know when to put them down. When to stop documenting and start protecting. When to recognize that the best way to preserve something is to leave it alone. I returned to the Banda Siwa last team. Anchored near Anamelis Island as the sunset, painting the sky in shades of fire and ash. Fishermen in traditional canoes drifted past, their silhouettes dark against the fading light. They didn't wave. Didn't acknowledge me. They simply went about their work, as they did done for centuries. As they would continue to do, long after he was gone. And he realized something. These islands weren't forgotten. They weren't lost. They were protected. By distance. By difficulty. By the deliberate choice of the people who lived there to remain outside the reach of the modern world. They existed in the spaces between the maps. Not because cartographers overlooked them. But because they refused to be marked. Refused to be claimed. Refused to be changed. I thought I'd come to find islands left behind by time. But what I found was something else. A mirror. Reflecting everything I thought I knew about preservation, progress, and what it means to truly leave something untouched. Cornelius had asked me if I understood. And now, finally, I did. Understanding is about witnessing. It is about recognizing when to look away. When to stop seeking. When to accept that some mysteries are meant to remain mysteries. That some places are meant to remain hidden. And that the greatest act of respect is the documentation. It is silence. So what do you think? Would you take that journey, knowing what you know now? Would you seek out these islands, these villages, these people? Or would you let them remain as they are, untouched, undocumented, unseen? Share your thoughts below. And if this story moved you, subscribe to join me on the next one. Because the world is full of forgotten places. And every one of them has a story worth protecting. Until then, stay curious. Stay brave. And never stop seeking the truth. Even when the truth is that some things are better left unfound.